Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life stories along with Aspergers Syndrome, OCD and the like. Along with that is the tips and advice for general health versus your health in general, regardless what you may have, or even I do some messages of hope and clarity and understanding for you all, so that you can get the lowdown on what maybe is happening with your life. I'm hoping to be a support person or advocate or whatever it may be for you guys. So it has been brought to my attention and shared that I'm wanting to try and bring out as many of the Autism and Aspergers series versus basically my mental health series in there, even though there's a lot to come obviously with what I had promised. So don't fret if you're looking for a particular subject, please, feel free to just look around or stay tuned, because hopefully it will come to value and assistance for you guys especially. So this one's basically all about the Autism and Aspergers Syndrome series, as said. So this one's all about the public transport in New Zealand. I've been doing some research based on the New Zealand versus the UK, US and everything else, because just to let you know, obviously as a disclaimer, it's some of the content that I will be sharing with you all, obviously, may not be correlated here in New Zealand due to the limited resources that is based on the areas that I'm bringing out, especially the autism and public transport, or the autism and the medical side of things. Here, say, like, the healthcare system and all that, on how we go about it, because it's still brand new, obviously. So some of the information will not be exactly how the healthcare or transport system in New Zealand really works, but in other cases it may do. And in New Zealand at the moment, though, there is still like a lot more research to be done and to be had, obviously. And there are some tricky answers or what have you I'm sharing with you all, or what have you, to share based on my opinions. I might do my best to share my thoughts as well based on what I've heard and researched. And in saying this, I'll do my very best to be as accurate and correct with the information that I give out to you, and that it's current and up to date, however, based on my findings, so on and so forth. So this one also, for this autism and series of this public transport in New Zealand, this one was based in the Altogether Autism magazine article that was on the 20th of March 2017. I'll link the website for this basically for you guys, so that you can get into it and read through for yourself if you would like that bit of information that I'm giving you. Also, just a heads up, also just a quick question before I begin, if you are autistic, okay, or not, how do you feel about some public services based on the transport versus the health? I would like your hearsay on this. Comment below, so to speak, so that we can just basically get the forum going, or the discussion board going, so that hopefully we can just see where you all are from, obviously, and how your public transport system works around the world, so to speak, even though I will be probably bringing out more of this later to date for the US, UK and other maybe areas around New Zealand here. Say, and saying that though, just to bear in mind that some of the stuff, as I said, I'm trying to be as up to date and current with all this, no matter what it may be, and hopefully, in saying that, I want to be as transparent and real to you guys, regardless what I share, be it if it's autism related or health and awareness related or whatever topic it may be, because obviously at the end of the day, I want to try and support you guys to know that you're not alone, regardless. Okay, let's begin this. As we know, for many of us autistics, however, no matter how old we are, what walk of stages of life we are at this point of time, we will sometime in our life will encounter or can and will find public transport that we use a bit scary, stressful, frightening, or all of these other emotions rolled into one. This isn't always the case for just us autistics, however, but it will be for other people with other conditions that may need to use a form of public transport and what have you. But today, for now, as I said, I'm trying to address it to the autistics and people with Aspergers syndrome. And also, along in saying this, I'm going to try and share based with my life experiences if you want to hear about it, along the way, which hopefully will be come in use for you guys, regardless what it may be of what I'm sharing with you. As we know, basically, like when it comes down to planning and carrying and our successful journey for ourselves, when it comes down to, be it driving, transporting from A to B, through a bus, plane, what have you, this does require a complex series of steps along the way to make it more enjoyable and fun. But bear in mind that using public transport can be challenging for the ones on the spectrum, especially for those who are extremely sensitive to the sounds, lights, and smells that will then create them to have a meltdown or even a sensory overload. Then there will be some form of anxiety around some social interaction with different people on the bus or wherever they may be for using that form of public transport, be it on planes, trains, and the like. They will then also, in the environment that they're in, will have to engage in some sort of social interaction with their peers, social communication with different people, as well as the environment that they're in, basically, can add the more stresses and pressures, especially when there are unexpected changes to the transport, timetables, be it, the bus is running like maybe 15-20 minutes late, and obviously for many of us autistics, we're all about routines, we're all about trying to get into play of time, being on time, and whatever else in our busy schedules. This will then lead to people with autism, however, to try and avoid public transport as much as they can, and will greatly have the reduced excitement or enthusiasm from travelling around town or out of the house, basically based on their way of trying to be independent, so to speak. So therefore, with enough adequate transport around, however, can offer more freedom and independence by increasing mobility for us autistic. Here in New Zealand, though, however, just to be aware of what I'm sharing with you all based on what I've learnt, there has been some initiatives and ideas that have been put into place and has been introduced, such as the recent Have a Go scheme that has been, based in Hamilton and Wellington, which are a clear, excellent examples, shall I say, to help autistic people that wish some transport providers have considered others of the everyday challenges that ranges from different people as well with different needs. The aims for each of these Have a Go days, however, regardless of what they've introduced here in New Zealand, was to make travelling more comfortable and easy for everyone in the community by offering a relaxed and free experience and an opportunity to experience a range of transport options. In Wellington, New Zealand, however, their initiative was the idea of My Life, My Way, a collaboration with a group of disabled people, their families, organisations and community members in the Hutt Valley of Wellington, New Zealand, but the Greater Wellington Regional Council, Transdev, New Zealand Bus and Hutt City Regional Council was aimed to help to remove some of the barriers to using some of the form of public transport. I'm going to give you some now tips that hopefully from a friendly Aspie for use of public transport, but for this I have been using form of different public transports to ease my way into things, to go to A to B regardless in the past and present, and be it for long distance travel versus short distance. Here where I am, obviously in the middle too, obviously there's some bus services that we can do. There's an airport, basically there is a train station and whatnot, even though there is some, I think, there are some trains and some trams and stuff still in Wellington somewhere too. So if any of you that are watching that are from New Zealand, list below what form of transport there is in the area, be it buses, taxis, what have you. But now I'm going to give you some tips for you from me as a friendly Aspie for the use of public transport to hopefully ease into what needs to be dealt with. Right, number one, write a sign or script, or even use a form of a schedule diagram. Basically, for many times, using visual aids for many of us can be useful and can help the autistics or anyone in general that needs it. The types of scripts can be in words or picture form, detailing every step that is needed to take in the way of public transport or anything onto what to do if the bus or trains were running late. This can also teach people how to offer seats for the elderly or the disabled or pregnant women and other passengers, along with teaching coping strategies if all else failed, like if our favourite seat was taken or the driver wasn't available that day that we, like to try to make small talk to. Visuals are also useful in planning alternate routes, obviously, and instead instructions, shall I say, on how to check the timetable. Number 2, block out noise. As for many of us autistics, basically, we don't like white noise. Obviously, some of us is really sensitive to noise, basically, that goes on around us. It gives us headaches because that sensory overload meltdown stage when it's so busy and loud for us, no matter what it may be. Sometimes some of us autistics can tolerate high levels of noise, some of us can't. Just got to be in mind, as I said so many times before, that all autistics are different, however. But my advice here is wear noise cancelling headsets if need be to reduce or block out any form of noise that is, really getting into our system. And saying that, if you've got a headset on, maybe play some soothing music or calm music through them while you're journeying on the bus or whatever form of transport. Some autistics may use headsets as a socially acceptable way of saying that they don't wish to engage any social interaction or conversation with others on their journey. So don't be offended if they don't, because obviously, some of those autistics are just the way they are. Number 3, carry a familiar object. What I'm meaning here is this can range from something like a photo of somebody, a phone that you're familiar with, just to fiddle around with, a blanket or a toy if it's a young child that has a familiar smell or feel to it. This method will help to comfort and distract us, hopefully, to that intensity where it will lead to that meltdown stage. But before that meltdown or sensory overload, hopefully this will also reduce the stress levels and avoid some of the sensory overloads that comes into play. Number 4, maybe if you can travel at quite some times, find out when the peak hour, what the busiest time is, even though it may be not possible or easy to do so. But avoiding the rush hours or peak hours can reduce the stress for us. If the bus or train is full, maybe be prepared to have some form of strategy to cope while waiting for another one that is available for a train, bus, or whatever form of transport you're using, which may least likely to be, crowded. Sitting next to the nearest exit could also be desirable for us, or preferable, to make the quickest escape if we need be, But again, ensure you have a script or visual support to help you out when this is needed. Number 5, plan and practice making trips and learn strategies to cope with the changes that will take place. We need to be in mind to have options available for different routes that can and will reduce our anxiety. However, we should always have a backup plan in place for any possible changes that includes different drivers, different routes that has been taken, breakdowns of the form of transport that we're using, traffic jams and the like. Number 6, pre-booking tickets for buses, trains, etc. This one is obviously can be doable. We can do it online. However, for many of us, some of us Aspies or autistics may want to do it that way. It's quick, easy, and avoids us being in waiting lines, for us to make that contact with somebody in front of us or to even communicate with. Number 7, maybe we want a chaperone to meet us at that designated area to show us around, basically, so that we can, easily get back into reality and also be at ease and be hopefully in a calmer state once we know our surroundings. Or another one is number 8, which is almost similar, is having a travel buddy come with us on our journey, pretty much, so that we can maybe, while we're sitting in a form of the transportation, be it a plane, train, whatever it may be, that hopefully we can be familiar with them and actually find comfort to talk to them, so to speak. Sometimes we do need that in our, everyday things. So yeah, this basically quickly ends, hopefully the short and brief Autism and Aspergers is end with the public transport in New Zealand of what is available for us. Give me a like for thumbs up for support, comment below I said what the form of transport you guys have if you're overseas. How does it work for you guys with the services, for people with autism and whatnot. Give me the lowdown of if you want to see more of these autism and whatever else in the comments below also, as well as maybe, I don't know, thumb it up if need be, smash that like button. Feel free to also follow me on my social media sites, as well as, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more, or just follow me on my journey and being part of my family. Feel free to also just turn on the notification bell if you haven't done so you can keep up to date with what Aspie's been up to, regardless, even though she may be missing in action. But that's what these social media sites are for, my Twitter, Facebook, and that. Because usually I post a few bits and pieces in between of what's going down or what have you. So, it's all a give and take communication wise. Share these videos around. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao.